Starlord is literally the only one that can contest me on this angle, and if he's not looking at me, I can do whatever I want to their team. Hey everybody, we're back with another video, and as you can tell by the title, I hit Eternity on Marvel Rivals. So about a month ago, a subscriber actually commented in the video that, hey Nick, have you played Marvel Rivals yet? And at the time I didn't actually give it a fair chance, and now that I did, I love this game. I'm having so much fun on it, to the point where yeah, I hit Eternity. I did it with about 70% win rate, so I'm going to talk about like what I think with alt tracking, I'm going to talk about what I think with controlling angles and controlling space, because it's the most important thing you can do as a damage player in Marvel Rivals. So right off the gate, the first thing I want to do here is control this high ground. So they already have an enemy Starlord. He's one of the best characters in the game. And we're going to be trying to fight and duel for this high ground, because whoever controls this high ground basically controls this map, okay? Let's see how I try to do this here. So I already start getting my poke damage out. I can already tell that this Starlord isn't as good as me. And you can kind of tell that stuff right away in FPS games, like whenever they take unnecessary damage, when they take bad rotates, when they take bad angles. Like this guy's at half health and he's already still letting me shoot him. Just little things like that in FPS games, those are fundamentals that you cannot be messing up. And you really see in terms of open queue and Marvel Rivals, that sometimes when support players play damage players, you really can tell the diff. It is just really, really apparent. Anyways, into the game. So I end up kicking their Starlord off high ground. Because he's off high ground, I now can control that angle, but he goes right back up. And because he goes back up, I'm going to have to go back up as well, because we're still going to keep fighting on this angle. We are just trying to fight over this space, all of this high ground space still. I'm still just trying to kick him out. So I see that he's down a blink, I'm going to call it. So I start pushing him, okay? And as I push him, he has to get up the high ground. But he also gets that med pack right there. Inside is a med pack. Not sure if you knew that. So that means that I'm still not fully safe here, but I have a better angle now. I have this natural cover for high ground, and it's much better. That means that I can now drop on top of them if I want to, and we could just start slowly starting to push them, because if we can hold this angle, that means that they're going to be forced to this corner, giving us all of this space just from one hero. The rest of our team is just fighting and brawling down on point, and they can do that. My team starts losing the fight, and because our Groot goes down, I end up dropping on their supports. And remember, I got this guy low before, and I can just start AoEing all of them, which is what I start doing there. I get the kill on Cloak and Dagger, and I'm able to get out. And now we need to reset, because remember, we still lost the tank. Even though I traded, we still just need to reset, and then we can go back in the fight, and we'll be able to win. Our Mantis ends up rezzing, and now, since they're so overextended, this is a terrible angle for them to play. I mean, our spawn is right there. They are so overextended with a dead healer, which means that we're going to be able to absolutely dominate them on these angles here and push them out. So I just instantly go in because, I mean, it's just so free. Like, it's so free. Our Groot gets a great wall on their tank, and we're able to just completely annihilate both their tanks here. Or at least force them out. We're able to force them out. We're just getting so much value off of them, and they're getting very little. Their Magic ends up trying to go for a flank and ends up dying there. And now we're just starting to clean up their team, okay? And once again, because I was able to control that high ground, because they overextended, they now have to push to this back corner. And they're going to be playing on this corner, which is going to open up a brand new angle for Starlord. And that brand new angle is going to be all the way up here, which was going to give a perfect sight line and natural cover for this entire point. It is a fantastic angle. I take the angle, and what I see here is this, okay? You have to know your matchups in video games. And in this matchup right here, who can contest me on their team? If you look at their team right now, who can contest me on this angle? Starlord. He's the only one. Starlord is literally the only one that can contest me on this angle, and if he's not looking at me, I can do whatever I want to their team. So, right here, I see that Starlord's not looking at me. He's actually looking at, I think, my Groot. Yep. And I start walking in because it's totally free, and just look at the value I get from just one of my E's here. Straight on top of it, and then I get straight out. As soon as they start looking at me, I'm out of there. I'm not overstaying my welcome, I'm out. Their Cloak and Dagger ults, and because they're Cloak and Dagger ults, I now know that Mantis is the only ult that can save them from my ult, which is Starlord's ult. It's one of the most overpowered ults in the whole game. If they do not have a support ult for my ult, their team is wiped. It is done. So I'm just playing. I know that they have their ult, and I'm playing for Mantis ult. I'm hoping Mantis ult comes out. That, or I'm hoping a DPS isolates themselves, and then I can also Starlord ult them. So I'm just playing for the ult. I'm playing for my ult. I get my ult. And as soon as I get my ult, guess who's isolated? Their Starlord is isolated on that high ground, okay? And as soon as I see him isolated, I'm going. I'm just ripping it. Their Mantis ends up popping her ult, and because she pops her ult, if you see this big AoE, green AoE, that means everybody in that AoE is going to be invincible because her ult just gives them a heal over time that more or less makes them invincible. I mean, I can't one-shot them. So that means I'm going to be starting to look for people outside of the circle right away. And that's who I start going for. I start going for their tank who's outside the circle. They're strange. Okay. And now, they're down and we just start pushing. Like, they just fell apart. I get a huge E there because, once again, nobody's looking at me. Their Starlord's dead. As soon as he dies, I am so free against their comp. And then we end up taking the point eventually after that. I don't think they even get a touch. But, yeah, so that's the first point on one of the Tokyo maps. So I hope you guys learned something from my Marvel Rivals point of view. Yeah, like and subscribe if you liked it. Let me know if you want more Marvel Rivals stuff.